It's Monday morning, welcome back to the Builder's Diary. I'm Rob Salmon, I'm the Builder Investor, and let's do episode 2. Right, so we're in the van now and we're on our way up to Daisy Bank, the little extension project that you saw in episode 1. So we've got an issue, the lads have built the step. It's a bit of a weird one this, because it's so tight, right at the bottom of the stairs, there's literally only enough room for a 2-foot door. So it's really tight basically, and what's happened is, because it's right at on the bottom step of the stairs, the architect has drawn out the bottom tread, sorry, Monday morning, the bottom tread basically got to be extended so you can step up onto that tread and then go into the office. But the problem is you're then stepping back down into the office because it's at the original floor level. So we've done it as the drawing says, but the customer's messaged me last night. She doesn't understand it, she's not quite happy with it. So we did have a conversation literally Thursday before we did it, just to say that you definitely want it this way and you don't want the floor raising in the office, so you step up and walk straight in flush. Now she's changed her mind. This is the problem you'll get with domestic extensions and any domestic work really. Occasionally you'll get a customer that's got a good eye for the vision of what something's going to look like after it's done, but 90% of the time they don't. So a lot of rework happens. So you'll build something and they won't like it, but they don't tell you till after you've fucking finished. so I'm now on my way up there to just try and sort something out basically, and work out, because the customer's always right and we're working for them, they're the one that's paying us. So we're now here outside Daisy Bank, little extension project. Let's go and have a look, see what's happening with this step, see if we can sort this out basically. Windows now in, sound. Brickwork's all been cleaned up now. Ooh, got some wall lights in. Get this door protected. Yeah, on the drawing it showed like a step here, so you can actually step up, go up the stairs and then go into there. But we don't like the fact that you step up and step back down, and then this is just massive, it's way too big. So we're basically adjusting it, so I'll get the lads to do a video when they finish it, but we're just going to go across there and chamfer it off that way so it matches that step.
Don't we tell them what we're doing, Rob?
Come here, what do you think when we do something and customer changes their mind after we've done it?
I think it's very irritating, to be honest.
You are?
We've booked an inspection so we can start insulating the roof.
So I'm here with Bip now. He's pretty much built this extension single-handedly.
Yeah, all on my own. Is that right?
So let's cut to the chase, Bip. Who's the best good-looking lad on here, you or Tyler?
I'll have it. What about these pair, Ian? What about these
Them
pair?
pair aren't good looking, are they? Let's face it.
Well, he's got with me, hasn't he? Let's be honest.
You reckon it's you?
Yeah,
Tyler's
it's
not
got
here defending himself, so he's off sick today, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a little wuss. Got the flu, hasn't he?
Copying your haircuts well, hasn't he,
Yeah.
So tell everyone, tell everyone, Biff, how long you've been working for me now?
6 years I've been here.
6 years. When you come, you were a right pain in the arse, weren't you? You mivied me like for
Downhill
months.
from that.
Months and months and months. Will you give me a job, please? Will you give me an apprenticeship?
Yeah. Bet you're thankful now, though, aren't you, Rob?
Glad you did it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
So this one's now pretty much ready for pre-plaster inspection. We've got some electrics to tidy up, but the electrician's not here now. He's not due to come till tomorrow. He should finish that off. So we'll get a building inspector out now, do pre-plaster inspection, where it's going to pass, isn't it, Ben?
Yeah,
We're all ready for pre-plaster now. So what are you doing, getting that channel cut now?
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll get that done, then we can move on, get it all plastered. So that's now been sorted out. I've spoke to the customer. You know what I mean? She's been quite fair about it, you know, which is pretty good, you know what I mean? A lot of customers would be like, I don't like that, you need to redo it. But no, she's been very reasonable. She doesn't like it, which is fair enough. I didn't like it myself, but the conversation we had last week was along those lines, that I was a bit unsure that she was going to like it. And you know what I mean? And she just said, no, do it as the drawings, which we did, and obviously then she realised she didn't like it. But no, we've just had a discussion, we've discussed a way around it. So we're basically going to raise the floor in that room, and then we can reduce the step back to the point that when we step up into it, we're stepping up onto a floor, not up onto a step and back down. Are you with me? Which was terrible. It was a terrible idea. Are you with me? We knew that, which is why we said something last week. But no, that's now sorted. We've just agreed some extra works as well, so that's a thumbs up for us. And this is what it's about in the construction industry. You've got to be transparent and you've got to communicate. If you don't communicate well, it will let you down, you know what I mean? It'll bite you on the arse massively. So make sure you communicate what it is you're going to be doing. Go and meet the customer, go and speak to them. Don't hide and stick your head in the sand, hoping it'll go away. And hoping it'll sort itself out, because that's not how it works. Are you with me? So let's get back now to the office, try and get those extra works priced. But between then and now, we have got a meeting with a social housing provider. So they look after vulnerable people, but we've got an HMO that we're working on at the minute, the Baskerville Road one, that we are looking to maybe put into that kind of, you know, that kind of tenant demographic. So we've just nipped over to Haywoods now. They're the people selling the bungalow for us. I had a message this morning to say that they need a property disclosure form. So I'm a bit unsure what that is. I think it's a TA6, so I'm just going to nip in there now and just clarify that. So that's now sorted. It was a disclosure of incentive form, so it's not one I've heard of before. So, but obviously different lenders got different criteria. So I've now got the form, gonna get that filled in, get it straight over to them, because the last thing I want is something holding up their sale. So we're now just walking down to this coffee place to meet up with this lady, who's basically, she's a bit of a assisted living coordinator. So obviously she might be able to help us to get this little 4-bed HMO that we've got in Hanley rented out via assisted living. So we've just nipped over to Baskerville Road, just got to do a bit of a survey on this one, just see where we're up to. I've got a visitor with me as well. She wants to have a look around some of our properties, so I've agreed to take her around. Say hi. So yeah, we'll basically just nip in here now, do a quick survey on where we're up to on it, so I can get the Monday.com updated, brought up to schedule, because once we've finished Daisy Bank, we're going to drop straight back into this one. So it's pretty dark in here, so we've just come in to see where we're at. And obviously it's clear to see that we've basically got some plasterboard on the ceilings and on the stud work. So on the inside of there, I don't know if you can see quickly, it's not done. It's pretty dark in here, so I'm struggling to record. So I've just gone round now, I've got my software out on my iPad, and I've just gone round and taken notes on everything that it is that we need basically to get back in the office now and work out where we're going to start back on this one. So now back in the office, as you can see, it's bloody dark outside. It's been a long day. So we've got plenty done today. But now I'm back here, we've got extra jobs for Daisy Bank that we sorted out this morning, like paving, tiling the kitchen floor and then fitting the kitchen itself. It's all extra works that she wants pricing, but we want to get on with some of it tomorrow, so I need to get it priced now, sent over to the customer, agreed on the variation, and then obviously once it's agreed, then we can move forward with it. Morning guys, Tuesday, we're off on site today. Got a few things just to tidy up quickly in here, and then we're off up to see the lads just to check where they are. And give them a hand with a few little bits as well. We've got a pre-plaster inspection booked as well today, so I like to be there for that. So to be honest, normally I just leave it to the lads, but just want to make sure everything's, you know, ticks off kind of thing. Like I say, another bloody parking fine there. I've got to sort of, honestly, getting fed up of them now. I've just texted the lads. He reckons he doesn't have to pay that because it's something to do where he parks when he plays for his football club at the weekend, and he's got an agreement with them and it's been sent in error, so hopefully we can sort that out. So just in the stores at the minute, just emptying a load of stuff out of one of the vans, getting it back in the stores to make the van tidy so we've got room to pick up stuff. But yeah, I mean, I think every builder in this land needs somewhere to store machinery and things like that. So obviously we've got bits of plant, we've got like whacker plates and saws and fat, you know, we've got all sorts. And we can't just keep it all on a van. One, it's not very secure, is it, kind of to keep it all on a van. There is a lot of stuff on the vans, and we do deadlock them to high heaven because we've had them broken so many times. But we keep so much stuff in the stores. So we've got all of that which is inside, and then we've got all of this lot here which needs a massive tidy up. I've just gone absolutely mental to the lads because they've dropped a load of stuff off the other night. Fair enough, it was dark when they got here, so we have got lights up and what have you, but yeah. So as you can imagine, when you're doing a lot of structural work, things like acros, you need so many of them. And yes, you can hire them, but what we've found is over the years is, once we've bought one, and it gets used on a couple of jobs, it's paid for itself and then it's cost nothing, but we still get to hire that out to the customer and make money off it. So take that for instance, what's there, about 20 acros, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 strong boys, that's just off one job. You know, down a bit further down there, where all the other stuff is, we've probably got another 50, maybe 60 acros and strong boys. So we need somewhere to keep this stuff, so this is where it's all kept. Just while I've got you, while I'm just driving up to site, just a very quick one. What do you guys think, obviously put this down in the comments, about this digital ID in the way of, you know, for limited companies? So all directors have got to verify their identification, which, you know what I mean, I'm a bit on the fence about it. I don't really want to be handing over digital ID to the government, although they've got my passport, they've got my driving licence, so you know what I mean, and they're pretty much tracking everywhere I go anyway with this, you know, with a mobile phone. So, but you know what I mean, I understand why they're bringing it in, because there's a lot of companies that just start up and then, you know, do a big VAT return and then all of a sudden liquidate. And it's kind of to prevent, you know, that kind of fraud. But I don't like the idea of this digital ID that the government are bringing in to try and almost control us. Are you with me? So, yeah, let me know what you think about it in the comments, because literally, I've pushed this can down the road and we've literally got a few days now to get it sorted. So I need to make a phone call to my accountant this afternoon to see if, because they can do it on your behalf, and that in that instance you're passing your details on to your accountant, and I trust them slightly more than I do the government. got an issue here now where Ben's actually digging around the actual water main. So basically we've got an old lead water main that's coming into the house, and just like they always do, it's leaking. So obviously it needs moving now to the new exit, you know, the new external wall. So we're having chop round it now, but we're going to have to extend it with some alkathene and berries on the floor. Afternoon guys, so we've done pretty much half a day on site this morning, so I got my scruffs on. Don't see me in them very often, but you have today. So yeah, I'm trying to enjoy it, like I've said. I just enjoy being back with the lads, having that bit of banter and that bit of a laugh. But I understand that, you know, there's a lot more valuable tasks that I need to be doing, basically working on the business rather than working in it. So I understand that, but it's very hard to let go. When you build a mindset up over 30 years, so I've been in this industry 31 years, a lot of people take the piss out of me when I say that, but it's a long time, you know. That's the whole of my adult life since I was 15 years old. And when you build a mindset up around being in a certain way and working in a certain way, it's very difficult to change. Are you with me? When you realise you've got to build your business up, and obviously I've moved into property as well, and you get taught by the people that educate in property that you've got to basically undertake the high value tasks. And obviously working on the tools is not classed as one of them, because you're only ever trading your time for money. So, and you know, your time is limited, and then the amount of money that you can earn when you're trading time for money is limited also. So, if you know what I mean, if you can leverage other people, lads on site, solicitors, architects, all those people in your team, you can potentially make more money. But it's difficult to change that mindset. So, but yeah, done that bit on site this morning. We're now in the van. I've just nipped back to the office just to tidy a few forms up. I had to get a few forms filled in and sent over for the sale of the bungalow that we're selling. That's all done and dusted now. I'm just nipping down now to the lease option project, the little 4-bed HMO, because I've got quite a few people interested in buying the option. I've just had one lad that I know, he said don't tell anyone about it, give me till 5 o'clock today and I'm pretty much certain that I'll have it. And he's just come back with, we're after 30 grand for the purchase to take the option on, because we spent 20 grand on the refurb. Are you with me? Well, probably a bit more, to be honest. And he's just offered me 22 grand. So it's like, no, you're alright, mate. Well, I didn't say that. I said, okay, mate, no worries. You know, there's loft. But I've got loads of other people interested in it. So one's my electrician, who's, you know, he's not dragging his feet, but he's been a bit cautious about things. So he's got a solicitor looking at things and stuff like that. But if he's not careful, he's going to lose the deal, because I'm literally going down there now to meet someone else who's interested in it. And those, I'm not going to name names, but that person is pretty much known for making decisions like that. And that's what you've got to do in property. There's a saying in the property world, and it goes, money loves speed. And it's very true. You've got to be able to make quick decisions in property. When you're purchasing a property, people are not going to hang around for you, you know, to do all your due diligence and stuff like that. You've got to get it done quick, because offers will come in on a property because there's a massive shortage. Good morning guys, welcome to Wednesday. So after I've had my porridge obviously, today we've got pretty much a full day in the office. So it's accounts time for Greenwood. So basically I've got to get over quite a lot of information to our accountant. Obviously he's got access to our accounting software, so we can do a lot of it via that, because I don't like sending all that kind of sensitive information via email. So, but yeah, first of all we've got to get over like completion statements and things like that for properties, because it's not the building company that we're doing the accounts for today, it's the property side. So all of that needs sending over. It's going to take a while. Everything's in our CRM, so it's all there available to send over. Might be a good idea actually to give our accountant access to our CRM as well as our accounting software, then he can go in and get whatever he needs, I suppose. So yeah, it might be worth that. Good idea, that, on camera as well. So I'll finish my porridge off and then we'll get straight on with that. So Meanwhile, the lads are on site over at the rookery. They are basically cracking on with the extension. We've got all those extra works booked in now. The customers asked us to fit the kitchen, do some paving around the outside of it, some steps, a few other bits. But all in all, good chunk of work being added to the actual end product. So yeah, lads will be cracking on with that. So just quickly before I actually get going today, I just wanted to address something. So I got asked a question. Some guy messaged me on Instagram, to be honest, not on YouTube. But he basically asked how I was funding like the new build projects and the property stuff. You know, am I taking profits out of the building company and transferring it over and doing, you know, that kind of thing, which a lot of people do. Now, basically, in a nutshell, he kind of said that, you know what I mean, it's all right for you builders because you're loaded, you know what I mean, to invest in property and you've got the skills as well. Now, I just want to address that not all builders are loaded. It's, you know what I mean, it's a bit of a fallacy that, you know, us builders, because we've got machinery around us and things like that, vans and what have you, that we are rolling in cash. Now, what you have to understand is, it's a high cash flow business in the construction industry. The amount of cash that you're constantly paying out all of the time is crazy compared to what's coming in. So, you know what I mean? We do make a profit, but cash flow is always a problem. So no, we do not fund our own property projects. I have basically got investors that I work with. I have actually got an equity partner in our, you know, property side, which she basically puts all the money in and we split everything 50-50 and my construction company does all of the works basically. So yeah, we're not rolling in money, and to be honest, the reason I've come on here on YouTube and started this vlog or whatever you want to call it is because my company over the years, I've been in this industry a long time, but it's kind of stagnated a little bit and we don't make the profits that you think we would here in Stoke-on-Trent. Stoke-on-Trent's not the, you know, the wealthiest of areas, so there's not a great deal of money around here. So we try and work on the outskirts, on Cheshire and places like that to try and, you know, get, you know, better customers in. So, but unfortunately, we still have to work in Stoke-on-Trent as well because it's our area. So, and there's not a great deal of money around here. So we've basically been trying to grow the company over the last couple of years, and it's been quite difficult, due to the fact that, you know, what's happened with materials, labour, things like that. It's really expensive. We're getting a lot of quotes that come back. People just can't afford to do them because extensions have jumped from, like, you know what I mean, 5, 6, 7 years ago, something like that. An extension, you know, an average rear extension, single story, would cost you about 40 grand. Now it's rolling on for 75 grand. So you can imagine it's gone up massively. So not a lot of people can get that kind of money together, or it doesn't actually add that kind of value to the property, so they don't do the work. So that leaves us with no work. Are you with me? So we have to bring a lot more leads in. So part of the reason for me coming on YouTube and doing this is for you guys to hold me accountable, because I want to grow the company. So I'm also looking for ideas from you, as well as me giving you tips and tricks as well. So drop comments below and let me know what you think about all of this, guys. So, but yeah, just to put that fallacy to bed that all builders are loaded and, you know, we can go into property because we've got loads of surplus cash at the end of the year and things like that, is a daydream. It's not real. Are you with me? So, and if one thing that I'm going to do on this YouTube channel is I'm going to be truthful about things. So let's crack on anyway and get these accounts over. So, something that we've done, obviously when I started this channel, I actually looked around at YouTube for inspiration for other people doing similar things, are you with me? And I spotted a guy named Chris from a company called Every Trade. It's been quite a big inspiration for me to actually doing this. And something that we saw when we saw one of his first videos is the fact that he uses his dashboards within his systems, but he also gets them on screens in the office. So he's got a visual pretty much, so he can see things just at a glance, like by just casting his eye over the other side of the office. So, and I just thought this was a really good idea, just to kind of keep things at the forefront, you know what I mean? Like I've said earlier, we're actually here for you guys to hold us accountable. We're trying to grow the company after 30 odd years of just being a small company, just turning over, just doing what we see, you know, what we saw to kind of keep the wolf from the door. But we don't see the point in growing a company that needs fixing first. So we need to put these fixes in place. We need to put systems in place. We do use systems. We're quite big on them, are you with me? But there's a few instances where we need to kind of improve on things. And there's no good growing a company that's not performing at its best. You get the company performing at its best first, making a good profit, and then you grow that. It's like trying to grow an unprofitable company. What's the point? You know what I mean? You're just growing your workload. You're not actually going to make any more money. So one thing that we saw again with Chris is these screens on the wall, and I just thought it was a really good idea. As it happens, I've got a couple of old TVs lying around from HMO conversions that we've done, and we've just ordered that little micro PC there. It's obviously updating at the minute, but we're just getting all of that set up so as we can have our project management dashboards and our feed that we have that basically feeds us to the guys on site with updates and things like that on the walls, so as I can look across at a glance and see where we are. We're now all set up. We've mounted the computer there on the wall. It's a little mini PC. It's set to auto refresh. So we've got all of our dashboards there. So we've got basically, I'll show you quickly, just turn the camera around. So on this one, we've got our live feed there. Obviously the lads have just sent some pictures across there of the paint board for the building inspector over the steel. And I can see that I've replied and said spot on. So it gives us our pipeline as well, so the qualified leads, quotes, completed leads, you know, up to jobs booked, and then we've got live projects there and where they're at. And over on this screen now, we've got our basically labour task plan for the rest of this week basically. So I can see the lads that are clocked in down there, and obviously we schedule their whereabouts throughout the week on here, so I just need to reload that in now. But that's going to be available now pretty much. Obviously if I'm sitting at my desk here, instead of me flicking through my computer screen and multiples all the time, I can literally glance over there and take a look at exactly where we are. So yeah, I think it's worked quite well. Obviously we've got immediate access to whatever it is we need just by glancing over the room basically, and then I haven't got to keep flicking through screens and stuff on my computer while I'm trying to work. So I know it's not a big massive upheaval flicking through a screen just to see where we are, but sometimes you don't flick onto that screen and you miss things, whereas if it's popping up on a monitor which is literally right across from me, which is auto updating every so often, I've set it to update every minute, amazing. So yeah, good idea. Let's see if it brings productivity up slightly. So that's a wrap today for In the Office. We've managed to get everything done, get everything across to the accountant. We've managed to set up the screens, and then there's a lot of other admin tasks that I won't bore you with that we've actually managed to get done today. It's been quite a productive day. So love to have a good day in the office, try and get everything done. But tonight we've got a networkers event, and it's called Property and Poppadoms, and it's the Stoke-on-Trent one, and it's actually their 3rd birthday. So it's, you know, they're 3 years old today. So it's going to be quite a big event, I think, and there's going to be a lot of people there. There's a guy talking tonight. He's quite an influential figure within the property world. He's a guy named Adam Lawrence, really knows his stuff. So quite looking forward to that. I'll try and get some clips tonight to try and add into this video. But obviously it's someone else's event, so I've got to be mindful that I don't want to be treading on toes and stuff like that. I've got a feeling the guy that organising it, James, will be quite welcome to the fact that we can give him a bit of exposure on our YouTube channel, even though we've not got a massive following at the moment, yeah, but that will change if you guys follow. You know you can do it. It's free of charge basically, so just nip down there and just hit the follow button and maybe give the video a like while you're there as well. So yeah, let's get done and dusted in here, get packed up, get all the monitors turned off, and yeah, head over to there in about an hour or so. So I've arrived at the Indian restaurant where they host the Property and Poppadoms. It's a really good night, and if you've not ever been to one, if you're into property, you need to attend. So they're all around the UK. This one's in Stoke-on-Trent. This is where it was first started off, so it's the 3rd birthday party, so this whole room will be full tonight. So I'll try and get some footage, but it's about getting out there and networking. You've probably heard of the phrase, you know, your net worth is your network, or your network is your net worth, rather. But you know, if you're a builder, it's not what you know, it's who you know. So yeah, we'll get around tonight, tell everyone what it says we do, and hopefully we should come away with some good contacts, maybe some work, or even a property deal.
Pressure. So there's a lot of talk, there's a big surge on the left of politics, really the far left to be honest, about taxing the rich. I think it's one of the biggest lies I've ever heard in my life, because the rich already pay a lot of tax. You often hear this stat these days, you hear a number of different things, but the most recent number is top 1% are paying 26% of the income tax, the top 1%.
So I'm here with James now. He's the organiser of the Property and Poppadoms event. I've been coming to this event now pretty much since it started in Stoke, about 3 years ago. It's actually the birthday party tonight. So just got James here now because he's going to explain a little bit more about it.
Thanks for coming along, mate. It's been a pleasure. So Rob's been supporting this from the off, like you said. 3 years old today, we're the fastest growing property networking event in the UK. We've now got 50 live meetings happening every month. Meeting at Curry House is very informal. There's a short, impactful presentation from a keynote speaker, and then it's networking focused. It's not a sales funnel. You can hook up with builders like Rob, brokers like myself, solicitors, other investors and developers, and it's very popular because of how informal it is.
Yeah, mate, honestly I can vouch for it. Absolutely an amazing event. But what I like about it is it's just so laid back, you know what I mean? No one's forced to do anything. You just come, enjoy a bit of curry and just have a beer with like-minded people basically. So glad I met James really. And
Get yourself along.
Morning guys, welcome to Thursday morning. So probably stayed at the Property and Poppadoms event last night a little bit too late, so a bit starry-eyed this morning. So up and at 'em anyway, got a brew on the go. Need to get up on site this morning. Struggling to get a plumber on site just to connect 2 radiators up, get them first fixed so my lads can carry on plastering. So I've run round the time of year, you know what I mean, winter time, they're always dead busy. So struggling to get hold of them. So it's looking like I'm going to have to go and first fix those radiators myself. Just get the pipe work in and then they can be connected up later on during second fix. So I'm going to head up there. This is part of my downfall as being a tradesman first and then converting to being a businessman later. I'm only too quick to jump back on the tools when it's needed. So, and sometimes that's not the best thing, are you with me? So, but at the minute it needs must. I don't want 5 lads, you know, just standing round. You can see that they're all clocked in behind me. So there's actually only 3 clocked in at the minute. I think one's having an issue with his phone. But yeah, I don't want them standing round waiting, costing me money. So in my eyes, it's better to just go up and get it sorted, get back in the office and just carry on with what I need to do here. Right guys, just quickly actually before I start, why? Some of you might be able to tell me the answer to this, but in modern vans, obviously we use AdBlue, don't we? You know, Eco 5 or 6, whatever they are. I don't know what they are, to be honest, because I'm not in London, so I don't really pay much attention. But why does the AdBlue light come on to say that it's low at 1,500 miles? You know what I mean? Does it think that there's like no places to actually pick up AdBlue for 1,500 miles within the UK, and you can buy it at every petrol station just like you can with diesel and petrol? So maybe some of you know the answers to why it's set at such a big distance for the, you know, for it to warn you when, you know, with your fuel light, your fuel's probably more important. And that doesn't come on till about between 30 and 50 miles. So anyway, getting off subject, but basically one thing I like to do, guys, is when we're getting close to finished with an extension, I like to push a leaflet through the neighbours' doors, basically. So I'll basically do the whole street of what we're working on. We have these leaflets printed out, so it's just a leaflet all about us, a little bit saying, you know, that we've been working next to your property. You know, we're sorry for the noise and stuff like that, but all our details, a little bit about what we do. So dead cheap to have printed. I just use Vistaprint, you know what I mean? Dead quick, design it yourself, have them printed, all your information's on there, phone number and everything. And sometimes they pull some work in. Are you with me? People see what you've done on their neighbour's house, and just it gets the cogs turning a little bit. Sometimes you get nothing from it, and it's kind of a bit of a lost leader. But it's also good that the fact that, you know, you kind of apologising for the dust and the mess and stuff like that, and they'll always think of you in a positive light. So that you might not get anything straight from it, but they might keep that leaflet in a drawer somewhere, and someone like in 6 months might say, oh, I need a builder, and they can say, oh, these guys that works on the street 6 months ago, and pull the leaflet out. So now starting plastering in here, dry lining, just get ceilings up. They've all been insulated. The amount of insulation we have to use nowadays because the building regs is crazy. So obviously all of the ceilings are dry lined, screwed upon, and then we will dot and dab on these block walls here. So we've got the dab there already. So lads are just starting that now. All pre-plaster inspections all been passed. So just now in case of getting it plastered, skirting board, architraves, decoration, fitting the kitchen, and that's the job done for us. So lads are cracking on, getting all of that basically plastered now, so all dry lining's going on. We're struggling for a plumber, so the usual guys that we use, because it's winter time, you know what I mean, everyone's turning their heating on, having burst pipes and all that malarkey, the boiler's not working. We are now struggling basically with getting a plumber in there to get a first fix done, so it's got to the case where I've got my scuffs on and I'm going to end up doing it myself if I can't get anyone by the end of today. So I've just pulled up at my architect's office. So I don't know if I've mentioned before, we actually team up, me and the architect. We've been working together for quite a while now. So what we do is, when we get a job that comes into us, we would love to have an architect in-house that works for us, but obviously that comes with its own issues. Are you with me? There's quite a lot of money that would be needed to do that, to kind of bankroll it. So what I thought was the next best thing was to get involved with an architect and kind of almost come up with like a partnership. So basically what we do when we go out and look at jobs, we say we're a design and build company, we can do the design for you as well, and then we get our architect to come along with us to do the price. He will do a measure up. Obviously we give, you know, a price to have some drawings done, and then he goes away and does his little bit, does his drawings, does his calculations and stuff like that, and then the work comes back to us. He doesn't go out to the architect's preferred builder. Are you with me? So it works really well. He's happy because he gets a load of work from us, and then we're happy because any work that does come our way that we send to an architect actually comes back to us and not to their mates or their preferred builders or whichever builders giving them a backhand. So gonna nip in now. We've just got to discuss a new build development, a little single unit that we own a plot of land for. So I'm here now at the architect's office. I've come to have a look at some plans for a new build development that we're doing. I'm here with Andrew now, he's our architect. Basically what we do, we kind of team up to kind of guarantee that when we get work coming our way and we send it out to an architect, obviously because we can't have one in-house because these guys are very expensive, we kind of, you know, we make sure that we hand our work over to him, and in return he makes sure that it comes back to us so that we can build it out. What do you think, mate? Do you think it works well in what we do?
It does. It's a good partnership. It's a good way of working, to be honest.
So it's kind of, it mitigates that fact that, you know, you'll get a lot of architects that you'll pass their number on, they'll come out, do drawings, do calculations, do whatever it is they need to do, and then they'll obviously have a list of preferred builders, which is fine, you know what I mean, guys that they trust, people that they've worked alongside for a long time. Obviously if we come up and we've sat down, had a bit of a coffee and come up with this agreement, and I'm finding that it's working really well, to be honest. So yeah, we've got these lads behind us now working away on stuff. So currently here outside of one of my suppliers, this is Embers Timbers and Builders Merchants. We like to create a good relationship with our suppliers, so occasionally I'll pop in, have a chat to the manager and just see where we are with things at the minute. Obviously it's not just Embers that we use quite a lot of different suppliers, but we try and build that relationship. You know what I mean? You never know when you might need someone from one of your suppliers, where you might need a favour or something quick dropping off or something like that. So it always pays dividends to keep in with your suppliers and just have a good relationship with them, basically. So just nipped here now to discuss the new builds that we've just been to see the architect about, just to try and get some prices locked in. So it obviously mitigates the fact that halfway through the build that the prices might rise on the materials. We're now outside of a property. I've come to have a look at this one on behalf of a friend, really. She's rung me. She's a landlord. She's got quite a lot of property, and she says she's got problems with black mould around the outside walls. Now, to me, that automatically says there's an issue with the roof on the lower eaves. There's somewhere that's leaking. So I've just took some pictures, got my zoom lens on, and took some pictures of the roof, and you can clearly see there's missing tiles, there's pointing missing on the ridges. You know what I mean? And then when I've actually been inside and had a look, you can see that it's an old roof, very old roof, and it's original to the existing house. So my recommendation is that ideally it needs a roof replacement. I will end up with her asking me to kind of patch it up, but there's no patching or something like that. And then there's another bit of damp a bit further along there where you can see there's a hopper there outside the bay window. So classic, people put hoppers that catch water, they fill up with water, they leak water down the brickwork, and then you get damp patches on the inside. So hopefully that one's an easy fix. So, but yeah, we'll go back now, we'll get some kind of quote together and look at trying to get that roof sorted out for her. So that's it, guys, for Thursday. That is a wrap. So I've literally just put a quote together for that roof that I've just had a look at. So that's record time, that is. I've pretty much gone and just looked at the job, and there's a quote literally gone out, literally half an hour later. So yeah, done that. That's all dusted now. I've just had a text message to be invited to a couple of beers with a couple of my mountain bike mates. So it's not very often I go out. To be honest, I don't drink. I'm pretty much teetotal. I'll have a shandy and that's about it. But I'm going to go and have a beer with my mates. I think I've deserved it after this week. But yeah, clock off, get all the screens turned off. Those screens over there, lifesaver. Honestly, Chris, if you're watching, mate, if you do actually watch our second video, what an idea, you know what I mean? And it erased because I'm literally working on my computer here, and I haven't got to keep switching screens all the time to see where we're at, or if a pop-up pops up, it basically pops up on those screens behind me. So cheers for the idea, mate. Really, honestly, yeah, I like to give credit where credit's due. So well, that's it for me today. I'm now about to lock that door, turn the lights off, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Alright guys, Friday morning, and also it's the 28th, which is payroll at Greenwood, so all the lads get paid today, which is nice for them. Not so nice for me, all of that money going out on one day. It's a little bit depressing, but lads have worked hard for it, so it's got to be done. But first things first, I'm just on my way up to Rookery, which is the little bungalow that's sold, one of our new build projects. That basically, the building inspectors moved the goalposts on us. We were told when we originally bought it, because it was on old regs, because it was started over 10 years ago, and the fact that the drainage was existing, it's already there, that they didn't need a full drainage test where they fill it up and test for leaks and stuff like that. They just wanted a flow test, which we did, and he was fine and he was happy with it. Now he's moved the goalposts, so I need to get up there now and just want to check it over. Just going to do a dummy test just to check it's all right before I get the inspector out, because last thing I want is the inspector out and there's a problem and we have to start digging fucking patios up and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'm a bit pissed off, to say the least, about it, because they've moved the goalposts on. Because originally, when the building inspector came round, and it was the manager of the department as well, we've known for a long time, to be honest, he said to me, yeah, we shouldn't need a full drain test and it wouldn't be fair to do one because it's all existing. So we treat it like an extension where you're just connecting to existing drainage. But change the goalposts now, so best get up there, get that sorted, get back into the office and get the payroll all sorted. Anyway guys, something I want to ask you. In these videos, obviously I'm just finding my feet at the minute, just putting in there whatever I see as possibly interesting to you guys. So if you could just let me know in the comments, just drop me a comment and let me know what it is you want to see, whether you want to see more of the property development, you want to see more of the lads on site, you want to see more of what I'm doing in the office, what kind of software we're using, anything like that, you know what I mean? Just anything around what it is I do, basically, as a builder investor. Drop it down in the comments and I'll get back to you, I promise you. So we're here now at the bungalow and we're basically filling the drainage up. I've got Bip here with me now, who's over there. Just getting it all filled up and then we're going to time it for an hour and just see if it drops. So we've been here about an hour and 10 minutes, something like that now, and we've been monitoring it. I've put a pencil line on the riser there and it hasn't shifted, so big thumbs up. I've tried to get hold of the building inspector, like usual, can't get hold of him. So I thought I might try and get him round now before we pull the plug on it, just so he can come and see for himself. But I'm going to have to video it. Right, so I'm going to pull this plug out now. Hopefully it should all swish away. Stayed up to that pencil line there that we marked on. Oh, that's freezing.
Yeah, a bit cold that, mate. I did offer to do it, but...
Yeah, try and pull the plug with me. Now back in the office, getting on with the payroll and what have you, and obviously we couldn't get hold of the building inspector when we were on site. Before we actually went there, I tried to call the switchboard to try and book an inspection. Tried a couple of times while I was on site as well. Just couldn't get through. I bet there was 10 phone calls that I made to the switchboard. And then when I was there, I tried to ring the mobile phone of the actual inspector himself twice. Couldn't get through. So we did a video, sent him the video. Normally, most inspectors would have been happy with that because it clearly shows that it was full up. The fact that the video is time-stamped shows you how long it was full, and then you could clearly see us emptying it. And he wasn't happy, so he wants to come out and now see it. So I've tried to book an inspection with him while we were on the phone, because I said, I can't get through to your switchboard. And he says, fine, yeah, okay. So we booked an inspection for Tuesday morning. I said, right, what kind of time do you want me there? I'll get it all full ready for you for when you come. Because it takes ages to fill up. And he just said, I don't know, I'll let you know. This is why we don't use the council no more. They're not interested in helping you at all, even though you have to pay them. So this is why we use these external companies. The approved inspectors, private companies, are far better. They just treat you like a customer. And now he also asked, last time he came out and did the final inspection, he didn't have a ladder, so he couldn't access the loft. I didn't have one, obviously, because it's finished, you know what I mean? It's not a working building site anymore. So he said, well, when you get up there, can you just take me a picture, just showing the insulation and the loft, and then obviously that the ducting's connected to the extractors and stuff like that. Which I have done today, sent him those over, and he says, no, I'd like to get up and have a look at the loft. I was like, well, you'll have to bring a ladder with you then. And he's like, no, you have to provide access. I was like, well, my insurance surely doesn't cover me for you going up and down my equipment. So yeah, it's a nightmare, and it's, you know, everyone else brings a ladder. We've had, you know, the structural warranty inspectors come, brought his own ladder. Surveyor for coming do the mortgage survey, and it's, you know, he's brought his own ladder. It's just ridiculous. So now he wants to get up there, and then he says, by the way, one of the photographs that you've sent of the ducting, it's the wrong ducting. It needs to be fully insulated ducting. I was like, well, this is a new one on me. And the last one that he inspected, that we were forced to use you for, because, you know, the customer had already booked it in, there was normal, wide, flexible ducting to the extractors. And you didn't pick up on it then. So why are you picking up on it now? So honestly, they're a nightmare, absolute nightmare. And they've also got this bit of a, I don't know whether it's like this sense of self-importance, you know what I mean? They want to make it known that you've got to jump through their hoops. Whereas these private companies just don't do that, you know what I mean? They're kind of on your side, they're trying to help you and work with you. So yeah, so I've now got to jump through those hoops as well now. So best get this payroll finished and then get onto that and get it sorted. So, how many of you actually know what this song is, this waiting song? So, currently on hold to HMRC. Trying to pay one of the lads, and we've got a new lad that's started with us, and obviously we need to verify him as a subcontractor. I've just tried to do that, and it says that there's a problem somewhere. So, and it's giving me a number to call with an error code. So, got to sit on hold to HMRC on a Friday afternoon. How long's that going to take? Crazy. What a day for this to happen. So, that's pretty much a wrap for this week. If you could, it would absolutely mean the world if you could like this video and maybe subscribe to the channel. It do us, honestly, it does so much for us, and it allows us to bring you stuff like this day in, day out. Cheers guys, thanks for watching.